Hello everyone, welcome to another session on data structure and algorithm. Today we are going to discuss queue data structure. Whenever we are thinking of queue, the first picture that comes to our mind is the real world queue in front of a ticket counter. Okay, here in this example figure we see a ticket counter is there and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 persons are standing here in queue. And something special about this queue is whenever any person moves out of queue or being deleted from queue, he goes out from the front, and whenever one new person is to be added to the queue, he will be added at the rear. That means we have two ends of queue, one is front end and other is rear end. So whenever we follow deletion, we follow it at the front. Okay, we call it DQ, and whenever insertion happens, it happens at the rear of the queue. We call it NQ. Insertion at rear, deletion at front. Insertion at rear called as NQ. Deletion from front is called as DQ. This is very much analogous to our real world queue. So in this approach, we define queue as a linear data structure as we see here, which permits deletion at one end and insertion at other end. So we will define queue is a linear data structure where insertion is done at one end of queue called rear of queue and deletion is performed at other end called front of the queue. So insertion at one end called rear and deletion at other end called as front. Insertion, rear, deletion, front. So now if we represent it in terms of data fields, we can see here if this is the queue. Okay, so deletion can be done here, so like this, 10, 20, 30 and 40. This is a deletion, and insertion can be done here. So this is our front, this is our rear, this is the operation of deletion at the front and insertion at the rear. So now one thing we notice here, this particular kind of data structure follows one approach called as fast in, fast out. So when we say fast in, fast out structure, what does it mean exactly? We'll see here. Whichever fast comes first, 10 comes first, then it will be deleted first. That's why it is fast come, fast serve also. In queue, operations are performed on fast in, fast out. FIFO order. Okay, this is very important about the queue. Queue data structure follows FIFO order, fast in, fast out. Whichever comes first, it goes fast. This is how we define the queue data structure. Now we'll move towards the implementation of this queue data structure. queue will implement using array first. Using array. So now when we are thinking of queue data structure, so two aspects we have to consider, front and rear. So initially we'll declare static variable int front equal to -1 and static int rear equal to -1. That means there are no elements there in the list. When we see no element on the list, we have front equal to rear equal to -1. That is the scenario. And as this is the array data structure we are following, we fix the size of the array. So we can say, let's say the size is static int max equal to 5. Okay, the size is 5. We can create an array for the queue, static int queue, say the name of the array is queue equal to new int max. So in order to have elements to be added to the queue, we have to see whether the queue is full or not, because we have defined the size as max. So first we check whether the queue is full or not. So let's say this is the array representation of the queue, what we have done earlier: 10, 20, 30, 40, let's say 50. Okay, if this is the queue, and max equal to 5, here we have indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 10 is inserted first and it will be deleted first. So we'll check whether it is full or not. The first method will go for public static boolean each full. Okay, so each full method takes no argument. If rear, this is the rear, the last element, okay, equal to max -1. If 5 elements, then the last index is max 5 - 1, that is 4. So if rear equal to max -1, then return true, else return false. This is how we check whether the stack is the queue is full or not. Next, we'll check whether the queue is empty. How will we do that? So if you think of this queue, it returns each full true. Let's go ahead. Public static boolean each empty if we have already taken the empty queue condition here, front equal to -1, rear equal to -1. If front equal to -1 and rear equal to -1, then return true, else return false. So this is how we check whether the queue is empty or full. Front equal to -1, rear equal to -1 means it will return true for the method is empty. Now we follow two methods insertion and deletion, which is done at two different ends: insertion at the front of the queue, insertion at the rear of the queue, and deletion at the front of the queue. The insertion operation is called as enqueue. Okay, we'll perform that now. Insert in queue, that means enqueue. Enqueue operation will go ahead. Public static void queue insert method int element. So we will pass the element to be inserted. So before inserting, we have to check whether the stack is full or not. If is full, we'll check first, then return overflow. System will display, not return, will display system dot out dot println overflow, and will return here, will not go ahead. Otherwise, what we'll do, we'll go ahead again, check if it's empty. If first we check for full, then we'll check for empty. If empty, then we'll set front and rear to 0, then we'll increment and we'll set the element here. If is empty, then we'll set front equal to rear equal to 0. Okay, so empty means there is no element, so front and rear will set to 0. Otherwise rear equal to rear plus 1 or rear plus plus. Now what we can do, we will add the element to the rear. So this part is over and this part is also over. So now we'll do queue at the location rear, we'll add the element. We'll add the element. That's all. That's all about insertion at the queue. So which is done at the rear only. What about delete operation in queue? We'll go ahead with delete. Delete in queue, also called as dequeue operation. So now this dequeue operation is done at only one end. The end is the front only. So deletion operation is to be done only at the front. Nowhere else other end will go for delete. So now to be able to do so, we have to check whether the queue is empty, because if queue is empty, we will not be able to delete. Otherwise we can delete. So now I'll write the method here. Public static void delete. If is empty, we'll check whether the queue is empty or not. If it is empty, then we'll simply display on the floor. That means there is no element to be deleted. then element which is to be deleted, ELE, which one? From the front. So element equal to Q front, the element which is at the front is to be deleted. So now in that regard, if there is only one element, what we will do? The front and rear are set to -1, that means no element. So we'll do that. If front equal to rear, if front equal to rear, that means if there is only one element in the list, then we'll set front equal to rear equal to -1. If there is only one element in the list, then simply delete it, -1. Okay. If there are more than one element, so we'll increment the front so that the element at front will be deleted. So we'll do front plus plus, else front plus plus, otherwise we'll increment the front. So now the element which was at the front is the item to be deleted, so we'll display that system.out.println element deleted plus ELE, that means item is deleted is ELE, that will be displayed, and that is end of the delete operation. So this is how we delete queue. So what about to display the queue? If the element is there already and we want to display the queue, what we can do here? Let's see quickly. Before that, let's have a quick look what we have written. Okay. Display queue elements in array representation. Okay. So go ahead. Public static void display. We'll check whether it is empty or not. If it is empty, system.out.println underflow, then return, then queue elements are display queue elements are, what are the queue elements will display? The idea is, if it is not empty, we will traverse along the elements from front to rear. For int I equal to front, okay, and I less than equal to rear, increment I, and simply display the elements. System dot out dot println, the array name is q of I. Okay. Well, this will print all the queue elements one after another in new line. Okay. Let's have a quick look on what we have done here. The key consideration is from front to rear. Okay. We start from front, we continue to rear and keep on displaying the elements. That's all. Before that, we will check whether the queue is empty. If it is empty, simply display underflow. Otherwise, you continue printing the elements. Thank you all for this representation of queue. See you in the next lecture.